What's up, everyone? What is happening? Been a little while. Took a week off. I had a lot of work to do. I just didn't have the time or mental energy to make a video. But thanks to my good friend Mark from Australia, just hit me up on my previous video and was like, "What's up, bro? You got to make another video. It's been a week. What's going on, Mark? It's always good to hear from you." Okay, so I'm going to talk about in this video the new transgender model. I know I'm getting into the transgender issue again, but it came up in the news. Victoria's Secret now hired their first transgender model. I'll just say she, to keep it simple, goes by the name Valentina Sampaio, if I'm saying the name right. You know, I always botch names. The new face, I guess. I don't know if they're the new face of Victoria's Secret, but definitely a supermodel now for Victoria's Secret. It is a transgendered woman, and they're making a big deal about it. I guess, you know, Victoria's Secret just went woke. I have a little problem with this. Normally, I don't have a problem if there's a market for something. They're a private business. If that's how they want to operate, go right ahead and do it. You know, I can't stop you from failing or succeeding, right? You do what you want. Chances are they won't fail at this because it's just a model. That's all they're doing. People are still going to buy Victoria's Secret clothing. They're not going to stop just because some trainee is modeling for them. They're still going to buy whatever it is that they're selling, right? This is just an attempt, I guess, to market to more people, to the transgender community, to the LGBTQ/R2D2C3PO community, to liberal women. It's just another attempt to get out there, to get some publicity for themselves, make more of a name for themselves, and get more products pushed. That's what this whole thing is about. I don't think Victoria's Secret really gives a shit about the social structure in our society. They are a business. They care about making money. This is a business move for them. But it's great for people like us who make videos talking about it. Now, here's the thing. You just hired this model, might become the new face of Victoria's Secret, might be a big deal, might be a huge success. Basically, what you just did was you just said that men are better at modeling than you women are. We are better at modeling, being a woman model, a female model, than you are. That's pretty much what you just did. It's like, at this point in the game, I think men are better at being women than women are at being women, right? I mean, we're better than you in sports. We're taking over all your sports. A couple years ago, we were Women of the Year, right? Caitlyn Jenner won Women of the Year for Cosmopolitan. So that year, at least, we were better at being women than you were. Here we are at modeling now, and when they, my prediction is that they're gonna give her or her this huge push, right? They're gonna put them all over, posters, magazines, and they're gonna everywhere they possibly can, whatever their business is, that's what they're gonna do. Billboards and stuff of that matter, commercials and stuff like that, the internet, whatever. And then they're going to say, everybody will just say, oh, well, look how hard she's working, right? This is all based on her merit. This is all based on her beauty. This is all based. See, she is a real woman, and they're going to say all the excuses, and they're going to use that as fuel for their argument why men can just suddenly become women. But no, obviously it's Victoria's Secret giving this push and putting her out there. No one really gives a shit that they hired a transgender woman. That nobody cares, right? But they're doing this push. This push is not done on merit. This push is done on the fact that she's transgender. She got that job because she's transgender. Once again, just cutting women out of it, right? Cutting the woman who could have had that spot. You just made her a top tier model when a different model could have had that same position. It's funny, we talk about the gender wage gap. I wonder if this would have anything to do with it. Because if she's going to be a top tier model for Victoria's Secret, you would have to assume that she's going to make more money than some of the runner-ups, some of the second tier, right? The second level of Victoria's Secret models. They have more than just a few that we see in a catalog, right? Or more that you see in a commercial. You might see 3 or 4 of them on a commercial, but there's probably about 20 or 30 different Victoria's Secret models, right? And some of them get a lot of work, some of them get a little work, right? That's how it is. Now, here she comes along, she's going to get a ton of work. You're going to have a biological woman who doesn't get as much work. She's not a top tier model for Victoria's Secret. And she'll be overshadowed by a dude, pretty much. Where's the gender pay gap, right? Like, how does this work? Could you say that equal pay for equal, well, you can't, right? You can't say that, reason being, because that's not a man anymore, that's a woman, which tells us that all men have to do is wear dresses and go to work, and the pay gap argument disappears, right? Because now we're all women, right? That's all we got to do. A bunch of guys show up to work wearing dresses, And that's it. There is no more pay gap argument. There's no more gender pay gap nonsense. The wage gap, you can't talk about it no more because we're all women. And that's it. It's that simple. This is why the ideology of the left is so confusing. But yeah, so pretty much we are taking over every facet of life for women. We are becoming women, and we're taking everything over from you, women. You're going to lose everything. You're going to lose everything except for what? What are you going to be able to keep? Just making babies. You're just going to be able to make babies, and that's it. That's all there is to it. You'll just make a baby and then just get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich, clean the house. That's it. That's the only role that's going to be there for you, because we're going to steal all the other roles from you just by putting on a dress and being one of you. Obviously, we're better at being you than you are, because we're beating you in your sports. We're beating you in women divisions, all the women's divisions, right? As more men enter those divisions claiming to be women, we're stealing your spot. We're beating you. Now here we are entering the modeling field. Well, we're gonna obviously we're top tier models now for Victoria's Secret. A few more here or there, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's over with for you as well in that category. And then, what's next? We're Women of the Year. I mean, we're taking everything over. You're going to be back in the kitchen soon just making us sandwiches. I'm not going to say that to one of these trans women, because they might beat the shit out of me. They're still men. But yeah, this is my concern going into the future. Now, sure, it's not going to happen right now. It's not something that's going to happen tomorrow. But think about 20 years from now. Think about 50 years from now. Think about 100 years from now. And everyone's like, well, I won't be around 100 years from now. So what do I care what happens? It's like, well, don't you have children? Don't you plan on having grandchildren and great-grandchildren? You don't care? You don't care that your great-granddaughter, your great-great-granddaughter is not going to have that much of opportunity going into the future as a biological woman, because so many, this whole trans thing just got so out of control that there's so many trans women running around that they're just literally stealing spots that would have gone to a biological woman. But I guess the left just doesn't care. They just want everything mixed up. Their shitty ideology, which makes no sense. They just want to mix it up everywhere. They want people walking around, dressed in the craziest looking outfits and looking crazy and oh man, I mean, it's terrible. You look what happened with Mario Lopez just recently, where he said on the Candace Owens show that a 3-year-old trans, it's dangerous to raise a 3-year-old trans. What do they know about sexuality or anything like that? We shouldn't do that. He was forced to apologize so he doesn't lose his career, because the mob was going to come to him. But he was actually right. He's 100% right. But, this is what we're at now in society, where you can't speak out against them because you'll be publicly shamed. And it's career suicide if you speak out against them. You have to apologize for everything you say. It's bad enough they can't even get along with themselves because they're always breaking some kind of liberal sin. And now you have them getting their people into all the positions that used to be positions for women. But it doesn't go the other way, right? Like the women who become men, who transition to men, they're not stealing many spots away from men. They can't do that because they still have to compete with other men. So if you're a woman who becomes a man and you want to be a bodybuilder, you have to compete against biological men, which are not easy to do because the competition is very stiff, right? If you're a biological woman becoming a man and you decide to become an MMA fighter, you have to fight men. Which is not easy. So it's a one-way thing. Everything is a one-way thing where it's men transitioning into women and then getting involved in women activities and dominating in the women activities. It's never the women becoming men and getting into male activities and dominating there, because they can't, right? Because competition is way, way, way stiffer than in the women's division, in the women's categories. So, but this is what's happening. Women, you are losing your own position. All the feminists are running around fighting for equality, and they're fighting for, women empowerment, and they're fighting for all of this. But yet you are losing ground. You are losing, these positions to, to the men who are like formerly known as men. You know what I mean? You're losing all of this. You're losing opportunity and privilege to women who are dudes. They were born men. This is insane. This is complete insanity. And you are not only are you okay with it, but you are sanctioning this type of behavior. You think that this is perfectly fine. What's going to happen in the future when, stuff like, modeling, when it's like, 50, at least 50% trans women doing that. That means The other 50% might be biological women, but the 50% that are now trans women, that's half of the industry stolen from biological women. What's going to happen when half of the women's sports are filled up with with women who used to be men? That's 50% of those sports that women lost those roles in. They lost that position. That means half of the WNBA and those women won't make it, because it's a dude who's now a woman took that spot from her, right? Talk about the gender wage gap, right? Now that's one way of fixing the gender wage gap, right? Because now you're gonna have like the WNBA, and you're gonna have a dude who says, "Oh, I'm a girl," and they're gonna say, "Okay, well, we have to let you play, the high school basketball," and then that high school basketball player, who's really a dude who thinks he's a girl, is gonna completely dominate, put up numbers that's never been seen before, get a scholarship, go to college, completely dominate the college divisions, make it to the WNBA, completely dominate the WNBA, make a ton of money, be the highest paid basketball player because he's putting up the most numbers, and you're going to think it's fair. And you're going to say, well, yeah, it's fair. I mean, he's doing it on merit. It's merit-based pay. And all of a sudden, that's going to be okay. And it's like, well, it's not really merit-based pay in this case, right? Paying me to beat up a kindergarten is not, a kindergarten kids. That's not a huge accomplishment for me. This is not exactly a merit-based pay, is it? Right? So you're gonna have this dude who thinks he's a girl, overpaid to completely demolish women on a basketball court, right? And you're not even gonna argue the gender pay gap, right? There's no argument, which basically tells me that all men have to do going forward at this point right now is go to work tomorrow's Monday, go to work wearing a dress. Yes, put a dress on, grab a little pocketbook and some heels, call yourself a woman, and now the gender pay gap disappears. It's gone. No one needs to talk about it anymore. There's no more argument about it, right? It's over with. Clear solution. If you don't mind wearing a dress, it's a clear solution to the nonsensical gender pay gap that's been debunked so many times. But if you really want to put an end to it and shut these feminists up, all you have to do is wear a dress, and that's it. You're no longer overpaid. Now you are paid on your merit. Right? That's how that works, right? Now there's no more thing about gender. Now it's merit-based pay. Even though the WNBA, a man on that court, would have the same symbol as the man working in the office. He's putting up those numbers at work. He's worth that money because of the amount of work. The value of his production, of his labor that he's putting, into the company is the reason why he makes that pay in the first place. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of biological women that are making a killing at work because they have so much production value in what they do that the company's like, yo, pay her whatever she wants. We don't want to lose her. But in sports, yes, it's merit-based pay, right? Just like everything else should be. It should be based on merit. But when you're a dude competing against women in a sport or in an activity that is dominated, that men dominate in, there's just no competition. This is not merit. This is almost like just, straight up being a bully at this point in the game. Yeah, well, whatever. That's what these women want. That's what they get. Maybe one day they'll wake up and realize that they're actually working against their own best interest. And until then, we'll just enjoy the fact that we're better at being women than you are. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell, help me grow my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, Mark. I'll talk to you soon.